How did the review of that Edinburgh first half go?
Yeah, I suppose it was a bit of a funny one. Like there was loads of good stuff in there, and I think even the feeling on the pitch was we felt very dominant. Like we're doing a lot of the right stuff, and then probably a few just bits of kind of obviously we threw like a couple of intercepts and things like that, kind of shooting ourselves in the foot a small bit. But the sort of feeling was we were very happy with the kind of intent we went out to play with. We were punching well, good connection between the backs and the forwards, and quite dangerous from the turnovers. So I suppose there was definitely room for improvement, but a lot of the energy and sort of the plan was quite good.
Yeah, I was curious to know, like in the moment, how you were feeling down on the pitch when you keep walking in behind your own post, trying to react to a score like that. When you are on top for such long spells in the match, and all of a sudden you end up back onto your post, just what it takes to regroup and not let it get to you.
Yeah, I think that was probably a positive from it. There was definitely no sense of panic. Like I remember even because like the first 20 minutes, like it really felt good, and like I remember like just like a scrum was quite dominant, and I think then we threw an intercept, which like happens, which is fine. A few of us almost like smiling at each other because we know we're good, but we just need to be a bit more accurate. So I think probably a bit of experience this year. We've had a few tight games and come out on the right side of them. So I think there's a good sense of confidence, but we definitely know we don't want it to be like that. We want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward, and if we can get a little bit of daylight in the scoreline, we definitely prefer that. So there was definitely a pretty calm feeling. I knew we just needed to double down on our strengths, and then we'd be okay.
All in all, though, is it a good warning shot to kind of get, just to remind yourselves about the importance of protecting possession and things like that?
Yeah, 100%. I think because obviously this time of the year, the most important thing is winning. But you see, I think on the back of that review, we know there's a lot of things we can tighten up, and where we could have had a much better performance. So I suppose it is a positive when you've got a lot of learnings and you've won the game, and then you can kind of carry those over into another big week.
In terms of the positives, then, because you did score quite a few lovely tries, at times was that the most fluid the Leinster attack has been this season?
Yeah, I think we've seen spells, but there was definitely, I thought in that game there was some really, really good passages, and tries we're very happy with. Obviously, in the game at the moment, you see there's a lot of these kind of turnovers off kicks and stuff like that, and I thought we were really accurate and being on the same page, forwards and backs, of moving to the best space and getting tries, maybe just kind of in that kind of unstructured play, which is quite pleasing. So there was definitely some pleasing attacks. Yeah.
In terms of your own game, it's something we've seen you kind of excel at, particularly since the back end of the Six Nations. I don't know, is it just a coincidence, but you personally really seem to be attacking the opposition as they're trying to set up a maul, and you've got some good turnovers off it in the last handful of games you've played. Is that an area of your game that you particularly try to put a bit of more work into?
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably set piece and the maul and stuff that would always be kind of big strengths in my game, and areas where I feel like I can have a big influence on. So I think I've seen a few more opportunities. I've kind of probably been standing in a bit of a different position in line of defence, where I probably get more opportunities to do that. I've definitely been able to get a few more of those opportunities in the games, and it's an area I love as well. So it's not easy. It's pretty easy to put work into when you enjoy it. So that's been pleasing in that aspect.
Sale Sharks picked up a couple of unfortunate injuries at the weekend, but what's the overall impression of their game? Where do you need to be most at your game this weekend?
Obviously just kind of had our first day of prep and looking towards them. I think we kind of know about Sale is they really pride themselves in their physicality and set piece, and that's a very big part of the game. You know, that's what they talk about and pride themselves, and they're very strong in that area. So very much like stopping their maul will be huge. The forward battle, and they have a big physical pack. So we'll have to kind of meet them right there and yeah, just that sort of physical challenge. They come with probably a bit more line speed maybe than the Scottish teams do, like Edinburgh. So it'd be sort of being a bit calm in our attack and be able to play the right space. If that makes sense.
Thanks, Joe.
Cheers. Yeah.
Thank you. It was just interesting. You probably described yourself the very same way you described the Sale Sharks, someone who pride themselves on the set piece. Do you think there's a greater onus on you, even though you're so young, to lead in that regard?
Yeah, it's especially when you're playing the second row for a team in a knockout game. It's important. Like the engine room has a big impact on them on the set piece. Even like we're a big part of the scrum as well. It's not just like a front row. It's always the back five are a huge part of that battle. So they're 5/8 of the battle really. So yeah, it's something that I probably have taken a bit more ownership in, and maybe don't really call the line out that much, but maybe in line defence I've tried to take a bit more of a lead in that sort of role. So yeah, definitely.
And when you first come onto the scene, your makeup and your size, I mean, I don't know if you're embarrassed about it, but the comparison with South African forwards, that some people suggest that this is probably what Ireland need, a little bit more of a South African physicality in the forward pack. Were you embarrassed by that? Were you honoured by that? How did you feel about that?
I don't know. I say I got an Irish physicality, you know. We got that. I don't know, not really. Like I just kind of like play my game. Like I've always loved the scrum, maul, set piece. Like I like being physical. Love those parts of the game. So it's not really, no.
But you know, the mental piece, being such a young player, like in latter years, and maybe even before Caelan and Josh, you can see that they're working a little bit more on their footwork at the line, whereas you probably relish the contact. As such a young player, you probably don't think that much ahead. So is that a part of your game that you do work on? You know, just having a little bit of footwork to find soft shoulders.
Yeah, I could probably work on my goose step and fancy footwork a bit. I definitely been there in that. I think you actually see Josh is actually unbelievably good at. He has that footwork, and then sometimes he can turn, and he's that kind of power to take on defenders one-on-one and bosh them. And I know from defending Caelan in training, he's always such a hard man to hit because he almost sits you down on your heels because he runs onto the ball and he's got his footwork. He's a bit of a hip shimmy. He's so good at playing the line that he'd be someone I probably wouldn't like to play against because he's very hard to get a shot on. So yeah, exactly. You probably are learning from guys like that. Because I think if you become kind of predictable and you're a Route 1 player, you just get double shotted, and it's very, very hard to make game line when you're a one-trick pony. So yeah, you're always kind of trying to add bits like that. So I think if you can be as unpredictable as you can, whether you can tip at the line or a bit of footwork, always makes you a bit more of a dangerous athlete.
Which has the bigger impact on your own team? A massive hit or a massive carry?
Both can give you a lift. Maybe a massive hit, I'd say. Takes a bit of an edge.
That's your personal opinion.
I think so. Yeah, I think like both. I'd take both if you could do that. That'd be ideal. Big carry and a big hit, but maybe big hit. I think does kind of gives you more lift. Yeah.
Okay, and then last question for me, with Joe where he is, unfortunately, does that have any impact on how you view the game? Because any player is only one injury away from sitting on the sideline looking at what you love to do.
Oh, sorry, did you say... Sorry, what was the question there? Sorry.
With Joe where he is as regards playing...
Do you mean Paddy is my brother? Or?
Sorry, Paddy.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, Paddy.
I'm fit and healthy right now, so...
It's not like you're looking like anyway. I shouldn't be able to get that.
Yeah. I think people say we look like maybe different colour hair, but he's maybe better haircut than me. But yeah.
Well, no, sorry. Yeah, completely. Because he's out and he's injured, has that had any impact on how you're viewing the game at the moment? Because you know you're only one injury away from looking at what you love to do on the sidelines. Yeah,
no, definitely does. Actually, I miss him out playing. I'm looking forward to him getting back, but. I think even Paddy was saying to me before, because Paddy, he absolutely misses playing so much, and he was just saying to me, he's like, "Geez, he's like, this is unreal. You're playing the Champions Cup knockouts, And he was like obviously there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, and you're stressed about performing. But he's like, honestly, just go out and properly enjoy it. Like, I think that's kind of why you play your best. But I think it probably has changed my perspective a bit. He's just kind of just make sure you properly enjoy it. And I think that's kind of when you get the best out of yourself. You're having fun, you're loving it, and it doesn't seem like hard work then. So yeah, it's definitely had a bit of an impact on how I'm thinking or mindset.